Once upon a time, there was a little turtle named Tommy. Tommy was a happy turtle who lived in a small pond in a quiet corner of a large forest. The pond was surrounded by tall trees and bushes, and it was a peaceful place where Tommy loved to spend his days swimming and playing with his friends. One day, as Tommy was basking in the sun on a rock by the pond, he saw a group of ducks flying overhead. He watched as they soared through the sky, their wings flapping gracefully in the breeze. Tommy felt a pang of envy as he watched them, wishing he could fly like they could. From that day on, Tommy couldn't stop thinking about flying. He dreamed of soaring through the air, feeling the wind rushing past him as he looked down at the world below. He asked his friends if they had ever heard of a turtle that could fly, but they just laughed and said he was crazy. But Tommy was determined. He spent hours every day practicing his jumps and flapping his legs as hard as he could, hoping to lift off the ground. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't seem to get off the ground. One day, as Tommy was practicing his jumps, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He turned to see a wise old owl perched on a branch nearby, watching him with interest. "What are you doing, little turtle?" the owl asked. "I'm trying to fly," Tommy said. "I want to see the world from up high like the ducks do." The owl nodded thoughtfully. "Flying is a wonderful thing," he said. "But not all creatures are meant to fly. You were born a turtle, and you have many other talents and abilities that are unique to you." Tommy felt a twinge of disappointment, but he knew the owl was right. He had always been a good swimmer, and he was very patient and persistent. Maybe he was meant to do something else. As Tommy was pondering this, he heard a loud splash from the other side of the pond. He turned to see that one of his friends, a little frog named Freddy, had fallen into the water and was struggling to swim. Tommy didn't hesitate. He plunged into the water and swam as fast as he could to Freddy's side. He helped the frog to the shore and stayed with him until he was sure he was okay. As he sat on the shore, watching his friend recover, Tommy realized something. Maybe he wasn't meant to fly, but he was meant to help others. He had a kind heart and a strong sense of duty, and he knew he could make a difference in the world by using his talents to help those in need. From that day on, Tommy stopped dreaming of flying and started focusing on his strengths. He helped his friends in any way he could, whether it was rescuing a frog from the water or carrying a heavy rock for a snail who needed it. As he grew older, Tommy became known as one of the most helpful and kind turtles in the forest. He was loved by all who knew him, and he knew that he had found his true purpose in life. Years passed, and Tommy grew old and wise. He watched as generations of turtles came and went, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. And he knew that, no matter what they were born to do, they could all make a difference in the world if they used their talents to help others. And as he watched the sun set over the pond one last time, Tommy knew that he had lived a good life. He had found his purpose, and he had helped others in every way he could. And he knew that, even though he couldn't fly, he had still soared.